everybody, so welcome back. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some Disney updates and an update on the bed, and right now I'm going to review some ears that I purchased on Etsy. So here's the package, try to cover my address, and this is how it came to me, just like this. And inside, the ears are actually wrapped up really nicely in this brown package, all tied up. The store that I purchased them from, now I might butcher this, so I'm sorry. It's Lebownitte, and this is their web address, or their Etsy address. And these ears were $25 and they were $3.50 for shipping and handling, and the company's from California, so that wasn't too bad because that was all the way across because I'm in New Hampshire, so $3.50 actually was not bad at all. So the total was $28.50. So let's open these up. Okay, here they are. And they are Haunted Mansion ears. So they have the Haunted Mansion wallpaper print on them. And the bow is a little bit, it's hard to tell, but it's like faded and kind of tore up a little bit, kind of like how Haunted Mansion would be. It kind of almost reminds me of like cobwebs too. And then in the center here is one of the Haunted Mansion gargoyle pets. First off, just looking at them, they seem very well crafted. Everything is put together. You can't see like any glue or anything sticking out. The little bat is made out of like a hard plastic, and it's got sparkles in it. The ears are pretty thick. They have like a hardness in them, so that's good. So they're pretty sturdy. And then the headband is wrapped in black satin, and it's thick too, so that's also going to be pretty sturdy. So we'll put these on. Move you guys back a little bit so you can see. The lighting in here is not the best, but it's actually like very dreary outside, so all I got is indoor lighting, not very much outside. Again, they're pretty cute, right? I like them. I think they're gonna be pretty cool when we go on our trip in September. And they're like very lightweight on the head too. They're not like heavy at all. And I can do this, and they're not like flying off or flying forwards. That's great too. So I highly recommend these ears if you want to buy these. I believe these were limited edition ones, so they're not going to have very many sets of those. Oh, and actually here's a card. I didn't realize there was a card in there. So that's their card. And that's the contact on the back. So yeah, I'd highly recommend. They have a lot of really cool ears there. They have more Haunted Mansion ears, and they have some really cool mermaid ears. I think I'm actually going to buy their Rapunzel ears that they have. They're like really sparkly, cool Rapunzel ears that I really want. So I think that's my next set. And just trying to not spend a whole lot of money right now because everything's going to go to Disney trip and some summer stuff that we want to do. So other than today's Tuesday, and we got the bed last Wednesday, so it's almost been a week, and so far it's really great. I personally love the bed. I get a great night's sleep on it. I don't wake up. It's really great. We don't feel each other moving around in it. So if I have to get up to go pee during the night, he doesn't feel me get up. And he also doesn't feel me move around because we both tend to toss around a lot. But actually, I've been noticing that I haven't been tossing and turning a lot. I've been waking up a lot in the same position I actually fell asleep in, which is great. Adam, on the other hand, he really loves a bed and he thinks it's really great and comfortable. But on Friday, he actually threw his lower back out. We were getting some trees cut in the yard, and they're around the house that are kind of getting a little close to the house. So he was helping his friend, or our friend, do it, and he was getting out of the bobcat and bobcat excavator thing. He was getting out of that and got caught up on the hydraulic hoses. So he ended up tripping on those, and he had the grapple on it. And he, in order to catch himself so he didn't land on the grapple, he like caught himself and turned the wrong way and threw his lower back out. So he's been uncomfortable for a few days now. He went to the chiropractor on Monday, and he goes back again tomorrow to get another readjustment, but he was pretty thrown out. So he hasn't been sleeping the greatest, but I don't think it's anything to do with the bed itself. I think it's just to do with him throwing his back out. What else about the bed? Let's see. We both really have enjoyed it so far. I'm pretty much at this point I think we're going to keep it, but we still have the 101 trial if anything comes up that we don't like so far. But so far I think it's really great, and it's a major 110% improvement on the broken bed that we had. So that's great. The bed frame that we got is really nice too. The headboard, everything is solid wood. We got it at our local furniture store for, I talked the guy down a little bit, so it's $3.95. And it's all solid wood. Everything went together great. And the headboard, our old headboard, like just moving a little bit in the bed would like slam the headboard against the wall. So on this bed, I mean, I'm sitting on it now, so not that the bed moves much when you move around, but the headboard doesn't move at all, so that's great. So that's not something that's constantly waking us up either. And so on to Disney news, I guess. So the biggest I'm talking to you guys is the release of the free dining and the room only discounts. So big changes to free dining this year. It used to be that if you booked a moderate or above, you got the Disney dining, which included table service. This year, if you book value or moderate, they're only giving you the Disney quick service dining. So what that means is you don't get any table service credits. So that's a huge difference. This means that you're only going to get quick service meals, and I believe, okay, don't quote me on this because I'm not very good with the Disney dining. The quick service, I think you only get one quick service per day. So that's a very huge difference. I mean, there's a lot of really good restaurants that you could use your one table service credit at, and it was, so that's their like major cutbacks. And I actually had a panic attack the day that everything was released because we were waiting on that one room, or one night that we had to book another resort because we decided to fly down on Wednesday instead of going down Thursday morning. They didn't release the room only discounts until later. So at first it was like, I checked at 7 a.m. so that was when the dining and everything came out. So when I checked, they did not have the room only discount, so I actually thought that they were not going to offer them at all. With the cutbacks to the dining, I thought maybe they weren't going to offer it. So later that day, I think on my break around 9 o'clock, I checked, and it said that they did update it. So We ended up booking a one-night stay at the boardwalk in Villas, which we didn't necessarily need to stay because Magic Kingdom opened till 11 that night, so we're probably gonna stay out there, and we might try to go to Trader Sam's after that, because I haven't been to Trader Sam's yet at the Poly. So we're not gonna be in our room for very long, in other words, but it was less than $100 per person, so it wasn't too bad. And it's actually really convenient for us for the next morning because we're going to the early magic hours at Epcot. So we're going to try to sneak into the International Gateway and get into Frozen, because my mom has yet to ride the Frozen ride. She hasn't been since they closed Maelstrom and started the new Frozen ride, which I don't necessarily think that I would ever use a fast pass on again or wait to any more than 30 minutes in line for. Unless you have a kid, or if you're yourself or like a very Frozen person, which I am not. I'm not that huge of a fan of Frozen. I mean, it was a great film, but I'm just not blown out of proportions like everything is Frozen. I wouldn't suggest it. It's pretty much the same exact ride as the Maelstrom, except they took everything good out of it and put Frozen stuff. So I would not recommend. So what we're gonna try to do is get to the International Gateway before the park opens, and once they let us in, we're gonna try to head back down to Frozen ride and try to get right in line for it and try to get on that. So what else Disney news? So where have we been? So in other Disney news, there's currently a rumor going around that there's going to be a Haunted Mansion restaurant going up, but it's like very, very rumory, and I don't necessarily think that it's going to happen. I mean, there's not much space right there right now. The Haunted Mansion is a classic, and I think everybody loves it, but they had the success with Memento Mori, the store right there and everything. I think the only place that they would be able to put it would be where Columbia Harbor House is now, and I don't necessarily think that they would do that because it's Columbia Harbor House kind of really goes with the theming list right there and everything, so I think that would be like the only space for them to be able to do it, and I think it's just a heavy rumor right now. I don't necessarily think that that's actually going to happen. Plus, they have to put another Disney news. They had decided to open a Club 33, which is an exclusive restaurant only open to club members. So you have to pay an annual due in order to be a part of. And so they're going to be putting a Club 33 restaurant in each of the 4 Disney parks, and I think in all the parks around the world, but there's going to be one each at the 4 Walt Disney World parks. So they have to put a place, find a place to put that at the Magic Kingdom too. So there's not a whole lot of places to put a bunch of restaurants right now, so either they're going to expand or close things and put new stuff in those places, and I don't see it happening anytime soon. Other than definitely the Club 38, because that's definitely happening. But I just don't know where they're putting it. Other than that, the Skyway thing is pretty under. Oh, today I just saw that they're actually adding 2 other booths to Food and Wine. So Spain and India, and they said some of the foods for them, but I can't remember. I know one of the ones that India was on, like hummus and naan bread and something, and then the one at Spain was oh gosh, I can't remember the like legit name for it, but it's basically meat and cheese in a cone. like a meat and cheese platter, like in a cone. So that might be definitely one of those places I might stop at because I love meat and cheese platters. And I guess it's a record boost for this year, which I'm super excited about because I'm going to Food and Wine, and my mom has never been, so I'm really excited. Last year was my first time ever at Food and Wine, and I absolutely loved it. And that's actually why I ended up going back this year, because I was just like sitting around thinking like, I really want to go back to Food and Wine. Like, so then I started looking at rooms and like seeing how much it was gonna cost to go, and I ended up finding it for like super cheap. So then I invited my mom, and then we ended up with the Savannah View at Animal Kingdom Lodge. But so that's how that happens. But I'm super excited for Food and Wine. They have yet to announce who is going to be playing Eat to the Beat during the time that we're there. So I'll be patiently awaiting who they're going to announce for that. Inside the Magic was posting all weekend about the Pandora preview. I believe it was a press preview because Inside the Magic is press. And they got a sneak preview of Pandora and the Rivers, I think it's called Rivers and Navi, and Flight, I want to say, no, it's not Flight of Wonder because that's the bird show. Flight of the Banshee. So, they did the queue for that, but they could not actually film the ride, which is understandable. I was actually surprised that they were able to film the river ride, which it was broken up a little bit, but they showed a lot of major things. And if you have a chance to watch it, 100% watch it, unless you're like waiting to be totally surprised, but I totally can't do that. So watching the Rivers of Navi, please tell me if I'm getting this wrong, because I feel like I'm getting it wrong, but I hope you know what I'm talking about if I am. So at the end of that ride, there's an animatronic, and this animatronic is the most lifelike, intense animatronic I've ever seen in my life. It's crazy. I cannot wait to see it in person. I am so excited. I was tagging my mom in videos all weekend, and I think she was driven nuts, but I think she's super excited too. So we're both really excited. I can't wait. And I'm really excited that we're going to be at Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is right next door. So it's literally a 5-minute bus ride away. And hopefully we can get into Pandora and be able to see everything and not be a madhouse. Hopefully with the time of year we're going and everything, it's not going to be too bad. Then they did the queue for the Flight of the Banshee ride, and this is one long queue. I really hope they don't think that it's going to be that packed all the time, because that would be scary. But it like starts off and like the outside, and then you're going through the building, and the building's kind of like grown over, and then you're kind of getting to the lab, and then you like go through and see like all the lab stuff, and then you finally get like put into this room where you have to stand on numbers, and then the guy comes on and he talks to you about matching you up to an act. And I don't know how that leaked photo of them actually like riding a banshee got out, but it's definitely not, unless they do something after that, you know, hooks up to a banshee somehow. But it doesn't look like you're riding a banshee. It just looks like you're sitting on this thing, like you're sitting really funky on this like chair thing. And then I have seen pictures of those, so they're like against the wall, and then the screen is over here, and then I believe they move out when the screen starts. So I don't know if something happens when that moves out and there's like an actual banshee there, but I don't believe it's an actual banshee, so I don't know where that leaked photo came from. If you've seen the leaked photo, if you haven't seen the leaked photo, just Google leaked Avatar Flight of Banshee photo, and it should pop right up. But yeah, but it looks really fun regardless, and I can't wait to go on that. I'm really excited for that because I really love Sora, and it's supposed to be something like that. And then the Navi River ride looks pretty fun too. It's kind of like just a regular old boat rides, nothing too thrilling there. I'm pretty excited to see all the bioluminescent stuff and pretty much everything they have there. It looks pretty incredible, and a lot of the technology and stuff they have with the animatronics and things like that are really state of the art, so I'm super excited for that. Other than that, I'm trying to think of what, oh, the bad news. So, one of my favorite rides ever is Splash Mountain, even though I didn't go on it until my teenager years because I was terrified of it because it only drops, and my mom finally talked me into going on it. So when we go down in September, it's actually going to be closed, and both of us are super bummed because it's one of our favorite rides. I only got to go on it once last time we were there in September, and my mom didn't get to go on it at all the last time she was there a couple years ago in May, so we're pretty bummed about that. But I believe it's going to be closed August 28th to November 16th. That is quite a long shutdown. I'm really surprised because it's one of the really hotter times of the year. I'm surprised they're closing it during then. I've been down where they closed it during the winter because not a lot of people ride it during the winter. So that kind of makes more sense to me than closing in the fall where it's like 100 degrees every day, but I guess that's their decision. So we're both really bummed about it, but you can't really do much. Hopefully not much else is closed. I know when we went in September, Dinosaur was closed, and I was pretty upset about that, as well as Big Thunder Mountain. So I didn't get to ride Big Thunder Mountain, which is my favorite roller coaster. So, but we'll definitely ride Big Thunder Mountain this time, and I'm gonna have to catch up on it from last time. So there's gonna be several rides at Big Thunder Mountain. So hopefully I can bring you along for that. So I haven't decided if I'm gonna bring you on a lot of the thrill rides, but hopefully I can, and hopefully I can get something where I can hang on to the camera. So that's some bummer news right there. Splash Mountain's gonna be closed, and it really is a bummer because it's like 2 weeks before we go it closes. So you can hang on for 2 more weeks. That actually happens at Big Thunder Mountain too. It closed like in August, and we went down in September last year, and it didn't open until November, so I was really bummed. But I haven't really done anything else other than booking that one night at the boardwalk. I'm just like patiently waiting for the Mickey's Not So Scary tickets to release, which last year I bought ours on 5/5, so I'm thinking this week, any day now, they should be released, so I'll buy your tickets for that. And then hopefully shortly after that they'll open up some more reservations for Be Our Guest, because I wanted to try to get in there for dinner, because my mom hasn't been to the dinner. She's been to the lunch, but she's never been to dinner. And I think dinner's a little bit more better because it's not quite as crazy. You don't have to find your own table, you have a reserved table, so it's not as bad. And dinner has a little bit more options for me as well, being gluten-free, so I think that's it. So I'm gonna say Kwaherini, everybody, and we'll see you later.